We're a homeless beard here. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101. Your host, Maxwell Star, and a whole panel here.
Is it possible he just got kicked out of his house?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I was just going to say, we're doing camping beers, but one person here is actually camping tonight. And
he also kind of resembles Ted Kaczynski. Like, I wonder if he has a manifesto or he's at least writing one.
I would have thought that maybe he's got his car parked in a parking lot near a gas station or something like that, and he's got a hole in the trunk so he can snipe people at.
Wow.
Not so much.
All right, so
quickly.
We are doing camping beers here tonight because not all of us are camping. Most of us here actually have camped during the summer, but
not me.
Actually, not Lee.
Not
all right,
me.
Whatever.
I don't know about Lee.
And when it comes to camping, I didn't actually do much more than go to a motel. But anyway, you get the idea. We're going to go down to the panel here tonight, starting with Fifth Wheel Fuzz. But his camera, I'm assuming your camera's having problems.
Nope. Hey, how's it going, folks?
It's going. How are you doing tonight?
Good. I'm here to tell you that fifth wheel camping is not true camping.
Wow.
But I do have a fifth wheel, so you me.
I mean, it's cool still. I mean, you have a shower, small shower, and a very small toilet.
I have two bathrooms.
Two very small bathrooms.
One smaller than the other.
So if they get food poisoning from undercooking the food, both him and his wife can take massive shits at the same time.
You can take simultaneous gray water shits.
Now the kid will have to go outside because you didn't spend for the third bathroom.
There is another thing, though.
You just have to follow her with a doggy bag.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, clean up after your kid.
Right.
Take your kid for a walk.
There's bathrooms at the site, so I mean you can go to the other bathrooms.
Yeah, but everybody else uses those bathrooms.
Okay.
All right.
Terrible.
Use public bathrooms or shit outside on the lawn.
Right. Okay. So Scott, what camping beer did you bring tonight?
Okay. So here's the thing. I got this beer at my campground. They were giving them away for free. I did not pay a cent for them. Today's camping beer is brought to you by the friendly people of Moosehead.
Fuck you, Moosehead.
Not like you've never had a Moosehead before.
Never had a I currently don't pay for Moosehead anymore.
Because Moosehead's typically dead for you.
To be fair, you never really paid for it to begin with. I mean,
I did.
Before he was employed there.
Well, I mean, you paid for it with a house, but that's a different.
Oh,
whoa! He's not wrong.
Dude, ouch.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize it was too soon.
You know what's funny? It was too soon for everybody else but me. And I'm the one who lost the house.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't that upset about it, honestly.
No, okay, there we go. So Lee and Scott are good. And I don't even know what Carrie thinks of it, but.
Because I know Scott's a resourceful guy and a hard worker, and he bounces back, which he has. So, yeah.
Which I have.
Yeah, but it was the part where he bounced.
I'm not like his supposed best friend up there who doesn't believe in him. It's just like
I believe in Scott.
I just feel like it sucks that he had to bounce back.
It sucks that he had that speed bump to bash his shin against.
Well, that's just it. I mean, if you crash your car, I'm glad you survived, but you still crashed your car and you have to get in your car.
But here's the thing: if I wasn't resilient, how would I learn? How would I grow? Stuff like that.
Are you comparing like a horrific car
How would you
crash
lose
to him having his job taken away from him because the company basically hired him in bad faith and then ditched him?
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So thank you, Scott.
Sounds like a horrific car crash.
Let's go over to Druid. Let's go to Druid Beard and just see how he's doing in the campground. Or not actually a campground. I think you're camping off of the highway in North Bay or something, are you?
Crown Land. Yeah.
As long as it's legal.
So if a night catches you, they're gonna kill you for poaching. Is what you're saying?
Poaching?
If I was killing anything, then maybe.
They can just straight up accuse you if they own the land, owned by the king.
Fair enough.
And Lee, what he is doing, what Breadbeard is doing right now, is illegal in our provinces.
Yeah.
There we go.
You are breaking the law where it comes to where we are.
Right, only because of the fire ban.
I saw an open fire. It's like in a little thing, so it's not.
No, still,
Yeah,
no, you're not.
It's still be illegal here.
Yeah, but we're not allowed even in the woods.
No. Well,
yeah,
anyway.
it's not Ontario, so.
I got a beer.
All right, so this is Kiwi Kolsch from Muskoka.
Ooh, that's
Seemed
interesting.
like something. So, yeah.
I mean, technically speaking, it is whatever you drink tonight is camping beers.
You're not wrong.
All right.
Cheers.
Thank you, Carrie. Let's move on to Greg. I think got here before Lee, so let's go to Greg. Hi,
Did
Greg.
I really? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, according to the order that you guys joined in, unless Lee left and came back while I was trying to fix my camera.
Lee's sometimes known for sneaking in first, but anyways, I thought I'd somebody actually looked up the laws regarding North Bay camping today. I'd give them credit, but they're not here, so I'm just gonna say I looked it up. Illegal camping in the North Bay area generally involves camping on private land without permission on Ontario parks without a permit or exceeding the 21-day camping limit on Crown land. Consequences for illegal camping can include hefty fines, such as $2,500 fine for exceeding the 21-day limit and leaving litter and environmental damage. So you're probably okay. I really don't. Police don't really enforce laws like carjacking and murder. So you're probably okay.
I went to there's a website. I can't think of the name of it, but there's a website you can look up where it shows you like all the people's property lines and stuff. And where I am is Crown land.
So anyways, I have a few beers to choose from. Most of them involve I literally just went to the LCBO and pulled stuff off the shelf. So these are going to be reaching at the best, but I felt they all represent Carrie's misadventures to some degree. Funny enough, I wasn't actually going to bring this on the show, and I'll let Carrie choose since he's a floating head in the middle of nowhere. He can pick the beer I do. I wasn't actually going to do this one, but since Carrie brought it, I'll throw this one as a possibility if you want to do the same beer. But the other beers I just looked at, again, they all involve Carrie's misadventures. So at some point, I could see Carrie putting on an animal hat, or mask. There's the word, and taking up skateboarding. And if you were to do that, then perhaps a 6% hazy IPA might be the beer for him. Then again, I could also see Carrie dressing up as a bird and donning a samurai costume and joining the collective. This is a weird beer I found from Collective Arts too. So that could be Samurai Bird Carrie. Then again, he might take on paragliding and instead have another 6% IPA. So that could be Carrie. Just imagine him doing his Redbeard typical pterodactyl scream as he does that. He would terrify all the campers below. Mm-hmm. And then there's a chance that, as Nick pointed out, Carrie is now actually homeless and just hiding it. And therefore, maybe one day he'll live in a boxcar.
Oh, wow.
A nice, juicy IPA. So here, I'll try to hold these all up. Carrie, which one of these would you like me to do? Or would you like me to just do the Kiwi beer?
What is the collective? What's the collective one?
Let's have a look at that. I'm actually not even sure. I just grabbed it off the shelf. So it's I should have read this before I bought it. It's just to ransack the universe with a fancy packaging.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
I probably
wow.
I'll actually have to
you're dumb fuck.
Do the one with the paraglider. The pterodactyl thing sounded funny.
I like
Which one's the pterodactyl? Oh, that's the Loch Lomond Braveheart.
Well, you have to imagine this is going to be Carrie's new hobby that he takes up, and as he's paragliding, he's going to just scream like a pterodactyl and terrify the normies below. I've been the one off the back of the boat, like where they attach you to a string in the back. It was quite a bit of fun, despite my fear of heights. It was quite a bit of fun.
That'd be cool.
So what exactly is that? Is Loch Lomond Brave Hop IPA or is it just a pale ale?
Brave Hop IPA, well, 6%. So I'd say it's probably on the low end of IPA, but they count it as an IPA. So, and it's unfiltered for maximum flavors, and they do not support pregnant women. So,
terrible bastards.
So you know what? Make them wear rubber. Don't let them squirt you.
Is that actually British? Because if it's got that image of pregnant women on the back, because Canadian breweries don't give a fuck.
Looks like it comes from. No, it looks like. Well, it says product of Dumbarton, Scotland, but it appears to have. They have an Ontario address. Now, I don't know if that means it's actually brewed in Ontario, or if they do send it over and that's just their business address. But it
sounds like it's imported.
Case because, like Nicholas says, the pregnant lady thing, that's typically a British.
It also gives you units as well, and that's usually
it's usually
so it's a distribution address, basically, probably.
Yeah, I mean they're saying product of Scotland, so I'm assuming that means it was actually brewed and canned in Scotland. So there we go. That's we're gonna be doing that beer.
All right. Loch Lomond Brave Hop IPA it is. All right, let's go over to Lee and see what. First of all, how are you doing, Lee?
I'm fine, Nicholas. How are you?
Not too bad.
Yeah, I'm getting over the summer funk, so I'm starting to feel better.
Nice.
Better mental headspace, all that stuff. So anyway, no one cares about that.
We do.
I brought two things for tonight. And they're both two things that were just brand new in the NSLC this week, and they both looked interesting to me. So first off, I have the old Stalwart Brewing Company here in Nova Scotia, Propeller, with their newest IPA called Ghost Ship.
Ooh, spooky.
And, perhaps someone would sit around the campfire and tell a ghost story about a ghost ship, like in the movie The Fog.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's a good one.
That was a good movie.
So yeah, Ghost Ship India Pale Ale at 6.1%, and then I have a new one to me anyway from Lund's Mill here in Nova Scotia as well. This is their Eclipse Black IPA, and that's 6.6%. That one.
That's actually, I think, stronger than the Ghost Ship, isn't it?
Yes.
I have to look it up. I think we got the Ghost Ship here. I'm not sure. Maybe I saw it in Nova Scotia or something.
It's like it's they just released it in the last month or so. It's brand new.
It's somewhere. All right. Thank you, sir. Time to go over to moi, and I could talk about my beer. So I could go for the low-hanging fruit and what?
I just said hi, Nick.
Okay, I thought you were interrupting me because I forgot somebody.
I mean, I was, but just much simpler than I normally interrupt you.
Anyway, I was going to say that when it comes to camping beers, usually it's like sessioning, maintenance beers, whatever you want. You're drinking whatever to get drunk by a fire, not necessarily focusing on craft beer. So I could go for the low hanging fruit and talk about the MGE I'm drinking now, but I'm not going to fucking do that. I've actually got one can left, a beer that I drank on my Camera Club's camping trip. So there's the legitimacy for camping. It happened to be a decent beer that I was able to buy quite a few cans of and drank a few over there when I was over in Annapolis, Nova Scotia. So naturally, that beer is going to come from a brewery called Annapolis Brewing. This is YOLO Jalapeno Lime Lager, 4.5% ABV.
Jalapeno lime.
Jalapeno, they're jalapeno business. Yes, in fact, I drank this. My second to last can of this on another camping trip when I went to Caracat a week and a half ago, and I did it on a live stream with Lee.
Yep.
So this is my last can of it. I'm actually going over to Nova Scotia again just for a short trip, but I'm hoping to get some more of this to bring home. Anyway, yeah. So Annapolis Brewing's YOLO Jalapeno Lime Lager. I'll be drinking my last can of that tonight. So let's circle back over. Brandon is in the chat saying hello, everyone.
Hello,
Hey, what's
Brandon.
going on,
Hello,
Brandon?
Brandon. If you've got a camping beer, let me know and send me a message on Facebook.
I think it's my coworker.
Or letters,
Propeller, yeah, Brandon's my coworker. So Propeller is one of my favorite breweries. Yes, we know. All right, so I'm going to circle back around. Let's talk about beer history, starting with the fellas.
Beer history of.
You really want your
asking
history?
me the beer history of
Yo,
Moosehead
I don't
Brewery?
make the rules. Well, actually, I did make the rules, didn't I?
Really?
Well, didn't Lee make the rules?
Well, Lee made the rules for the original BA101 style. I made them for the BYOB stuff.
Yeah, you corrupted and perverted everything I created.
Yeah,
Well, it was out of desperation. So
wouldn't be the
Corrupted
first
or
time.
perverted?
Oh,
Perverted.
Mhm.
What is my relation? What is my
really, it's a low
relationship? My history with Moosehead
Very
Breweries.
low.
Well, Moosehead Breweries is brewed in my hometown of St. John, New Brunswick.
Mhm.
No, actually, not my hometown. My current town of St. John, New Brunswick. I grew up drinking Alpine and Moose Light. In the past couple of years, I've moved on to Moose Lager. Moosehead has a number of beers available to them. Flagship beers of the lager and Moose Light variety. Alpine is a very local variant of a lager here in the Maritimes. Doesn't go too far. They also have started in the craft beer with their Moosehead Small Batch series, which they brew on site in St. John, where they have multiple different types of small batches of beer that they test flight. Before they even get to that, there is actually a smaller, even 5-gallon brewery that they don't release out to the public, and that's only drank by internal people.
Oh, did you ever try that?
Yes, I have. But
Nice.
usually it's reserved for the small internal group of testers that then determine which one of those 8 go on to the small batch brewery system, where they then do small batches and test in the general public, and then from there they go mainstream and into their large format beers, to which a Moosehead Chelada was a successful graduate of that whole system. A couple years back, I had the opportunity to join Moosehead as their IT manager,
did that work out?
They were my favorite beers brands, so I was very stoked to go into that. Drank a lot of beer. Moosehead, as a company, delivers a case of beer a week to their employees for them to consume and share. After a 9-month stint, they terminated me without cause, but because they ran out of money. So that someone said they hired me in bad faith. Yeah, they just didn't know what faith they were. Ever since then, I've lost my house and $70,000 worth of money to that poor decision by Moosehead. To which now I will not buy another Moosehead for 10 years. However, because I still like the product, I will drink Moosehead. Hence, I got this free beer from my campground to drink.
Now, why'd your campground give it to you for free?
My campground won the best campground in the province
Really?
contest. Yep. And
Cool.
as a reward, the RV place bought a presidential pack of Moosehead.
Oh, really?
Yes, and delivered it to our campground, and we've had 2 parties with it, and there's still Moosehead left to hand out. So a presidential pack is 2,000 and some odd beers. It's one beer for every day that. Yeah, that's it right there. It's one beer for every day that the president of the United States is in office.
The current president. I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with being the current president.
Yes.
Resident of the United States.
Basically, they're saying you should get drunk every single day until there's a regime change.
Yeah, and they only give you one beer, so how can you really get drunk off one beer a day? But
if you're a real lightweight, I suppose.
Yeah,
I guess.
And this case is a legit thing. Like they have the crate out on display in front of Moosehead.
Yes, and there's a crate, in our rec hall at the KOA.
Isn't that like two grand if you want to pay for it yourself or something like that?
Oh, I think it was more than that.
It's got to be more than that.
Way more than that.
Yeah.
Well, it's at least like $3 a can, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was like I think it was $12,000 or something like that.
really,
Wow.
Trying to think what it was.
well, it isn't. It's an absurd amount of beer. It's going to be pretty damn expensive.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And also much like Scotch, you're paying for the packaging as well. So you got that big green box there. You're obviously paying a bit more money for that as well.
No, probably 6,000, not.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
12,000 sounds a little.
12,000 is a little high. It's more like 6,000.
$3,490. $3,490.
Oh, there you go.
What does that work out to per beer?
It's actually pretty good. That's less than.
That is pretty. That's
$2 a
definitely
beer.
cheaper. And they're 500 mil cans, right?
They
So-
are.
Aren't they 470? They're regular
Okay,
473.
so what did I say? It was like $3,490.
But again, in this
divided
case, you
by
could have-
1461 is $2.39 a can.
but you'd
tax
also have to
included.
add tax and deposit.
Oh, yeah, this
to-
is plus tax and deposit.
yeah, which for that many cans would not be insignificant.
No, the
Oh, yeah.
tax is easy enough, but the deposit for every single one of those cans, that's going to add up.
Well, I'm assuming it's I'm assuming it's 10 cents, and do you pay tax on the deposit or no?
I don't think so. I think
No,
isn't the tax applied before the deposit? I think.
No,
Depends on the province.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like in New Brunswick,
Okay, so-
the shelf price you pay is what price you pay, but that includes
that's
your
what it here-
deposit and taxes.
At the LCBO here and the beer store, the price they have on the display is what you pay. If you go to the grocery store or Circle K, they add the tax after, and you definitely pay
Yeah.
more if you go to one of those stores.
Yeah,
They've
you go to
changed
the
the
grocery
beer
store,
store
you
now.
pay tax on top.
They've changed the beer
Apparently,
store where you pay tax.
the grocery stores and Circle K and stuff are going to have to start taking back empties. So, like, there's a good chance that a lot of the grocery stores and stuff selling beer right now might stop because the logistics of having to, like, I don't know what like other grocery stores, but
Why can't your like normal bottle return depots take beer bottles back as ours do?
I don't know. Like, there's something happening in Ontario with that, and like, it's
Like,
I don't know,
isn't
but-
like a lot of the beer stores going out of business because of this? But beer stores,
There's that too.
where you take your beer bottles back.
the when I did a hood fan job going in the back of grocery stores and stuff. I don't know about all of them, but pretty much every single one I was ever in the back of, they don't have a bunch of spare room to be storing a bunch of empties and shit. Like that's
No.
yeah.
And I can speak from experience working in a grocery store where we have a pretty large back shop area, honestly. But like just the constant flow of pallets and stuff in and out of there week to week. Sometimes it'll be almost totally barren and plenty of space. But very, very next day, all of a sudden, it's almost full to the fucking brim. Just because.
Well, yeah, and then they'd have to have like
it's
a pretty big area dedicated, and just the smell, the fruit flies. You don't want that in the back of a fucking grocery store with all your stock and stuff.
No, it's a health and safety hazard. You can't do it.
Yeah, we got like dedicated redemption centers here in New Brunswick where they handle just that.
Well, that's what the beer store does here.
They have to set up for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, I'm just saying, they should. What do you do for? Anyway, we're getting off topic. Maybe this is something we can come back to because it's an interesting conversation. But
it's beer related still.
So Scott's told his history of Moosehead, so let's move on to Carrie's history of Muskoka and that beer you're drinking. What's your history?
I want to say cheers to Paul in the comments first.
That's true.
Cheers to Paul in the comments.
He likes to drink Shinkurla smoked beer on camping trips, which you know what? Actually, I would be right there with you. That's a fucking
I
great
don't.
beer.
I'm sure I've had this at least once, but I can't recall when. I don't do beer reviews really anymore. So, I want to say I've had it though. Like whenever I see something new, I still grab it to try it. Usually, it's okay. But yeah, Muskoka. I've had a bunch of their beers. They used to be pretty badass. Now they're one of those craft breweries that's like they're almost like Ontario's version of Moosehead, you could say. Like they are a huge craft brewery. Moosehead's probably bigger still, but you know, yeah, they just you don't see a lot of new beers from Muskoka these days.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
At least you're trying something new. I mean, every once in a while, Moosehead comes out with something new, but I feel like Muskoka's slightly more interesting product-wise. But at the same time, they're more.
They used to be more interesting than they are these days. I want to say, like they've
I remember
a lot of breweries have actually done that. Like they've kind of stopped being.
Like what was that? What was that weird one with like something creature or something?
Oh yeah, what the hell was that? I know what you're talking about. I can't think of what it was though. Yeah, they made some interesting beers. Again, just these days, it's like Bose. Bose used to be amazing. All the random shit to come up. I can't think of the last time Bose made something I was
Legendary Oddity. New. That's what it was.
That was the one. Yeah.
Now they're just a Luggo Tread brewery.
Yeah, Luggo Tread. Yeah, that's right. They bought a Bose, didn't they? All right. So thank you, Kerry. Let's go over to Greg. All right. Yeah, was it Greg? Yeah, Greg actually shut up.
I think Steam Whistle owns Bose now, if I'm not mistaken.
I explained something.
Yeah, there you go. There's some hatred.
I've never heard of Loch Lomond.
Actually, I was looking today at the LCBO, and I knew Lee would appreciate this. This would be the perfect camping beer. A whole portable keg of Steam Whistle. There you go.
What do you do? What do you do? Set that on fire outside your camp to keep bears away? Is that what that's for?
Well, after you drink it all, you can set it on fire, I suppose.
No, you set it on fire with the beer in it. Beer
doesn't catch fire. It's only 5% alcohol. You have to fill it with whiskey.
I thought you used that to flush your camping toilet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just ethanol and fucking like some malt flavor or something.
There you go. Delicious. Anyways, I have zero history with Loch Lomond Brewery. It's the first time I've heard of them. Loch Lomond. Anyway,
now it's French.
Look at little brave hop Carey over there. He's just floating through the air. I think that's supposed to be a seagull. Yeah, there's a seagull. He's pretty high.
Trying to keep my fire going here.
See the landscape.
The fire feels awesome, but it burns through the wood so fast.
I can't wait for Carey to do some winter camping where if he doesn't keep that fire going, he dies.
Yeah.
I want to. I have plans.
You want to die? All right, cool.
I want to winter camp.
Eventually. So yeah, that's it. First time. This is my virginity. My hymen is being broken.
Oh my.
Very exciting. If Lady Lee was here, she'd tell you all about how important virginity is and that you should keep it intact. But I'm just going to go all out and break it.
Great. Greg's getting his hymen broken. All right, so let's go over to Lee, and he can break his hymen on propeller, or tell us how he broke his hymen.
No, propeller has shagged me fucking 4 ways to Sunday at this point.
Oh my.
Long history of propeller, of course. This is my first time with this beer, like I said, because it's brand new. And Lund's Mill, not as an extensive history because they haven't been around as long, but I've been, casually on and off enjoying their beers. I don't buy them as often, but this popped up on the shelf and it's like, first off, cool label.
Yes, for sweet.
And black IPA, if it ends up being a good one, I love a good black IPA. Used to be a style I was against because I used to just feel like, But sometimes you can pull off a really good one, and yeah. Again,
interpretation of the style is pretty variable.
Yeah, that's the thing.
All right. Cool beans. Hey, I guess that means I'm next. So when it comes to my history with, speaking of Annapolis Brewing first, first time I ever had anything from this brewery, I don't know, I forget exactly how old these guys are. First time I ever had something from these guys, it was a trip that I took over to Nova Scotia back in 2019, where I literally got a chance to stay at a place that was like right down the street from this. Like I was able to walk up to the brewery and buy some beer and bring it back to where I was staying. I do recall I was like hanging out after hours with Carrie and Lee on Hangouts at the time, just drinking beers. But if I ran out of beer, I could just walk up the street and buy more. So that was a fun trip. This, of course, when I went over for my camping trip with my camera club at the end of July, beginning of August, of course, I had to go back to Annapolis Brewing to catch up and see what they had in the fridge. And lo and behold, they had these big tall boy cans. Like, this is bigger than your normal can. This is a 568 ml can, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Trying to see on the site where it's got the number. I don't see it. Yeah, 568 ml can. They had like a couple of variations of this, but of course, when it says jalapeno lime, it really catches my eye. So I didn't buy into the other versions of YOLO, and I might have to change that when I go over next time. But if you're telling me like you got these big tall boy cans for the price of the regular cans and of like jalapeno lime lager, I'm like, I'm so fucking down. Yeah. So I bought a 4-pack of these and went back for another 4-pack before I left. And so this has some credit. I was drinking this on my camping trip, and this is my last can of it. I sent one of the cans to Lee, drank one with him online from another camping trip in Caracat a week and a half ago. And I've had a few of these. We will get into what I think of this, because I had intended to save this for a review for the channel, but since when do I upload reviews that I record? So, right. We already read all the comments here. We got one viewer. It's probably Brandon.
There's
on. So let's just expand it. If anybody else is actually watching this shit, let us know what you're drinking. We will read every comment.
I'm going to beer number 2.
Even the bad ones.
Say what?
Even the bad ones.
Yeah.
What's this, Gary?
Beer number 2.
Mango passion fruit rattler.
I have 3 beers.
I'm surprised that's all you brought.
I actually bought 4. I did step 2 a while ago. Camping with Steve style.
Oh.
You got a shotgun?
Involves drinking.
Are you drinking it right out of the can, or are you drinking? Did you bring a glass?
I'm canning. I made sure none of the beers I bought were like going to be super affected by that. Like a Radler, the one I just had. Other ones, I want to say the lager by Side Launch. I think I grabbed just some basic beers that'll be fine out of the can. So,
are you there all night, or at some point is someone picking you up?
I'm staying until tomorrow, man.
Nice. Okay. Well,
I got my tent and everything. I got my hammock with my bug net and my rain fly set up just over here. I got some food I'm going to make later. Yeah.
Well, if you hear any footsteps, it's definitely not Jason. It's probably just some hobo that wants to rape you.
You can cook quarter of a pizza in the woods.
You know what? I'm not that far off the trail. I can go back to the highway and have them like meet me at the highway probably.
You have a pizza delivery company and it's delivered to a random spot in the highway.
You do have a good signal going.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed. Like I didn't go as far out of town as I planned on. I was gonna go like probably about a half an hour further, but I saw these hydro lines and I was like, "This is nice and close." So yeah, and I found
he's actually camping under a 5G tower right now, folks.
Where's your tinfoil hat?
The big giant hydro towers. They make some interesting sounds when you walk under them.
Yeah. So does the Agent Orange when it gets in your bloodstream.
It's the towers whispering at you, going cancer, 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 cancer.
I think where he's already got the red hair, he's immune to Agent Orange.
Wow, that's offensive to all the people who were affected by Agent Orange back in the day.
I actually watched a random documentary about that, and like the precursor to it on that Veritasum whatever YouTube channel. And yeah, Agent Orange.
Yeah.
Agent Orange is like what they did with that in the Vietnam War is insane. It's basically a weed. It's like a weed killer, but it's like an all plant killer. And they were like, "Oh, these guys were in the jungle. We'll just kill the jungle." It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know where they made Agent Orange? In New Brunswick.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
It's the atrocities. It's those sort of atrocities that they try to, kind of like push under the rug by like letting people believe in like outlandish wackadoo conspiracies when like the real government conspiracies are all just like the really basic inhuman shit that they do for like their military and stuff like that. Like fucking Agent Orange, Tuskegee Airmen, where they gave all those black men fucking syphilis.
Oh yeah,
to see what it would do, kind of that kind of shit,
Sounds like the conspiracy of crazy old Lee Russell living off the grid in his cabin in the woods.
Yeah. I'll protect me gold.
Jesus.
Are you a fucking leprechaun now?
Yeah, Nova Scotian leprechaun.
that was great.
Yeah,
I was going
I
for
thought it would be like
Ghostbuster,
gold member from the Austin Powers shit.
Oh yeah. I like gold.
My gold.
I just had a cool thought. I think I can charge my power bank off of my camp stove while I'm using my power bank to charge my phone. Yeah.
Fancy.
Let's go back to that discussion we were having about bottle returns. So I'm not sure. I know here in New Brunswick, the way it works is that we have redemption centers set up, and they'll take everything. They'll take beer bottles. They'll take multiple types of like water bottles and cans and whatever. Like how does it work? And I remember when I was in Alberta, it was pretty much the same way where they had redemption centers. You just take your bottles down to it. But I know when I was a kid, I remember doing bottle return in PEI. And you had to go into a grocery store and find a grocery store, first of all, that did it. And then they actually would you just feed it into a conveyor belt kind of shit. And it was like, but it was only like certain things. So how does exactly, first of all, how does it work in Nova Scotia? How does it work in Ontario?
Well, in Nova Scotia, but by the way, you just mentioning, you used to, when you were a kid, remember taking it to a grocery store or whatever. It used to be, in PEI. It used to be the NSLC would take the bottle returns back when I was a kid. I remember going to the liquor store, the old location of our NSLC in Kingston, with like my dad or my grandfather returning their bottles and then getting some money back for it. So, and they used to have in the old NSLC, they had a conveyor belt system and everything as well. And, you just bring your shit. Now it's I assume it's pretty much exactly the same as what you got in New Brunswick. The recycling centers around here take your bottles, take your cans. They only take a certain amount. Like you can take like 6 clear plastic bags of like can and plastic bottle returns, and you can take like so many like glass bottles, and then you have to go to the back of the line if you have more and come back with more. And sort of, because they're so busy.
Yeah, there's no limit here.
Yeah, well, no, there's just a limit but so we don't really do that. Like I've got kind of a hookup. We've got our local guy that I call the mayor, because he drives around royally in his a multitude of ride-on lawnmowers with a wagon.
We've heard of this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so like he's kind of the hookup. It's just like he's frankly, he's a methed out, weird bum kind of dude, kind of crazy. If you talk to him for more than 5 minutes, he starts telling you conspiracy theories about how he didn't know who his real parents were and how the orphanage he came from was firebombed and he nearly escaped, and like all kinds of fun stories from this
I was kind of envisioning that this guy was like Tyrone from Trailer Park Boys, where he's driving like a limousine, Lincoln Town Car or something like that, and he's just picking up the bottles and taking them.
No, he's so the last time he came, it was just a couple days ago. Actually, he came to the house and looking, hey, you got any bottles? And it's like, yeah, we have a whole fucking like back porch full of bags of bagged up bottles, and cans. So we put him on his wagon. His wagon was a new one he just got, which looked about 40 years old. And when he was crossing, like getting ready to cross the street with his ride-on lawnmower to come over into our yard, his whole wagon just like the hitch kind of broke on him, and the whole wagon just kind of fell over on its side. So he had to like jerry rig that before he could come across the street. And he's like, "You got anything to help me like reattach this?" You know, and like we found an old rusty nail to like stick into the fucking thing to like keep it.
Wow.
But you know, so he took all of our bags and shit. But yeah, that again, that's an aside there. But yeah, we have pretty much the same return system as you guys have in New Brunswick, I guess. So.
Except more, you know, more like the what's it called? Nazis, right?
They're the Nazis.
The Reich doing things the Reich way. So, Greg, speaking of that, Greg, how exactly do it in Ontario? Because I always thought it was kind of weird because like Ontario doesn't recycle water bottles, do they?
I mean, we put that in your blue box. They take it from your door. Who the fuck knows what happens?
There's no deposit on this. I get like 10 cents back for this.
There's no deposit on anything that is non-alcoholic. It's only alcoholic things that there's a deposit on. Yep. So
really?
beer, spirits, wine. Depending on the size, either 10%. No, nothing. No pop. No, nothing. But we can't return pop. We can't anything. A pop just goes in the recycling bin. Gets taken out every week. In terms of alcoholic stuff, you take it to the beer store, and that's the only place you can take it. And
yeah, wow. Well, I mean, I save every one of my water bottles. I get 10 cents a bottle off of one of these things.
Yeah, but you're charged.
But you paid 10 cents a bottle.
I think technically speaking, it's like 12 cents now. There's like 10 cents plus they added a bottling fee to everything. That's like 2 cents.
Yeah. Nope. Bottled water.
The 2 cents pays for the whole system.
Bottled water gets tossed in the recycling bin. They come take it every 2 weeks from us, which because fucking Mississauga's cheap and they only have once every 2 week pickup. And that's that.
So the albino rhinos in the chat saying, are camping beers just anything you drink camping, or do you have a different definitions for them? Well, the definition with camping beers is beers that we would have taken camping or would take camping. So
I am camping.
Literally, Carrie is camping. I'm drinking a beer that I drank. That's my last can of that I had on my camping trip back at the beginning of August. And Scott got his beer, a Moosehead, for free at his campground. So
I kind of just interpreted it as being another Carrie beer. I tried to spin it that.
Well, there's
try to find beers that feature activities that perhaps Carrie will get into in the future.
Well, Lee put some good thought into his, where he has ghost ship telling ghost stories, maritime ghost stories.
I don't even know why I bothered with that because I don't really believe in situational drinking necessarily. So if I was to actually go camping, I'd just drink whatever the fuck I want. I thought he was gonna
say he didn't believe in ghosts, but he doesn't believe in.
Well, I don't believe in ghost stories. No.
Oh, the year was 1778. Oh, I wish I was in Sherbrooke now.
I believe in ghost stories. I just don't believe in ghosts.
You Saskatchewan, man. No ghosts, no situational drinking. I'm sorry. You don't even like steam whistle. I'm so sorry, my friend.
All right, Saskatchewan returns.
Jesus hurt you.
Saskatchewan returns are easy. You just go to Sarcan. Is that what they call Saskatchewan liquor there? Sarcan, return bottles, plastic, blah, blah, blah. Anything ready to drink, right down to coffee cream. Wow, coffee cream. I don't think we return coffee creamer here. We don't. Like, in New Brunswick, we don't like milk containers. We don't return those. And coffee creamer, that's just a plastic.
Can. Nick, you can return coffee creamers and you can return milk.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, well, that's news.
We do that in Nova Scotia too. You wasteful pig.
Yeah.
You're destroying the environment, Nicholas.
I don't drink dairy, and I don't like. It used to be that you can't return milk because they stink.
Oh, you can't.
You're supposed to wash them out before you put them in the fucking recycle. You know that, right?
When I was a grasshopper in Ontario, you could go to do glass pop like the Quickie in Ottawa. Okay. Oh, like PEI used to do glass bottles everywhere up until the late 90s. I think it was around the time that the Confederation Bridge opened that they started doing plastic bottles. And like PEI used to be completely glass bottles.
You couldn't
buy anything can or plastic, but it was because they had like their own like bottling, like pop bottling network or something like that at PEI up until the ferries closed, the ferry shut down. And when they opened up, all of a sudden they had access to the bottling plants in Moncton on a regular basis. So they just got all their pop bottled outside of the province and it's shipped in now. But it used to be that they had refillable bottles and you would return all the bottles. I still actually have a couple of PEI.
Fun fact, Prince Edward Island used to not have red sands on their beaches. It was only when they started crushing up the bottles and people were cutting their feet on the sand. And it's actually the blood mixed with the pulverized glass. That's the sand.
That's a good ghost story. Now, here's the funny thing about beer store that most people don't know, that if you're so inclined to, and most people would not be, if you're so inclined to collect your pop, your glass, I'm sure there's got to be some limit to what they'll take. But generally, anything that they will recycle that's alcoholic, so glass, aluminum, probably most plastics, they will take at the beer store as well. They just won't give you any money for it. So if you want to bring all your pop cans, you can, if you're so inclined to collect them. But
they'll do the recycling. You just don't get any money for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when I give shit to the mayor, I could take the stuff myself to the recycle center and get a lot more money back for it, but I do it for a fraction of what I'd regularly get. Just the convenience of having him haul all that stuff off in his shit wagon. So.
Yeah, and you get some of it too.
Well, especially since you don't drive, so I mean, I assume it would be rather inconvenient for you. You'd probably have to get someone to drive you to do it. So
yeah.
Well, that's the same. Like I was to do bottle return. The only time I can do bottle return here in New Brunswick is Saturday mornings. I'm working during the week. They're government, so they're only open certain hours a week.
Now, Nick, if you quit your job,
I thought they were part of it. They're paid by the government.
Just quit your job and start drinking more, and then you can just return more bottles and their profit. There you go.
I mean, it works for the 65-year-old bum who carries my shit off on the wagon. So
there you go, Nick, and you're a young bum at this point, so you've got lots of years ahead of you.
Yeah, this guy,
I can hook up a trailer to the back of my Corolla and then carry some bottles around the neighborhood.
Yeah, like I didn't ask this guy how old he was. It just came out in one of his stories where he just started rambling on. And it's like, I'm 65 years old. And it's like, Jesus Christ, he's one of these people who could legit be like a 40-year-old meth head, or he could be 65. And he confirmed he was 65. Like,
so it was the latter. He's only shriveled and wrinkled because of the age, not because of what he was smoking the entire life.
But he is what I'd point to when like people go, "Oh, Trailer Park Boys, that's not real, is it?" I was like, "Oh no, it's fucking real."
It's a lie. There's some real shit out there. There's a guy running his lawn, doing like fucking the Straight Story style lawnmower shit.
Oh yeah.
Ed saying there's a $75 limit at the beer store. Technically, there's I believe it's either 125 or 150 unit limit, but they don't enforce that. So you're not supposed to bring more than 125 of anything.
I'm not sure if there's a limit here in New Brunswick, but I've never run into one. And I had one bottle return where it was like well over $100. So
yeah, they don't care.
I don't. Yeah, and I do see every once in a while. You'll see like school sports teams and stuff like that doing bottle drives. So you'll get people coming around and just collecting bags and shit, and they'll or you yeah like there's no. I don't think there's actually like maybe they make special decisions for those circumstances.
I think the imposed limits more for their convenience, so they can manage
So you don't
workload.
Yeah, exactly.
Or anything else. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've never run into any kind of limit. I've had my car completely full with like even bags of bottles in the trunk in the front seat, and I've never had them tell me to go. Like, I can only redeem so many. I can fit like 6 or 7 bags of shit in the back seat of the truck, 2 in the front, some in the trunk, and of course beer bottles, like glass bottles on the floor. Yeah, like I've had the car fucking full to the brim where I can barely see out the windows.
Well, that sounds real safe and legal.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of real safe, Queen of Canada was arrested today. You see that shit?
Oh no! Why would they do that to Her Majesty?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea who she is.
That
Maybe
fake Queen of Canada. I actually saw her like caravan or whatever, like drive by in St. John one time.
She's basically a cult leader. So I mean, I don't know what she was actually arrested for, but she's a grifter, a cult leader.
Yeah, she's a crazy grifter and cult bullshit thing who like attached herself to the trucker movement and shit during COVID. And
but her and her cult have taken over a small town in Ontario, and like when they were talking about potentially even a few months ago, I heard where they were talking about potentially dismantling her cult. They're talking about like it being another Waco incident where they thought they might like just go out guns blazing, but I guess not.
Waco Canadian or Waco Canadian.
But I mean, she gets these idiots that she's already stolen all their money. She gets these idiots to do stuff like get themselves arrested by she tried to set up a protest about a year ago at this point where they went to some police station and all her followers were hanging outside the police station, trying to arrest cops. You can imagine how well that went. Like most of them got their asses thrown in jail. But she's a
bear.
Maybe.
So much for that Trudeau took out his 5G signal.
Yeah, there's possibilities.
Yeah, my connection's being kind of fucky here.
So
it's been good so far, though.
So Rhino says then alcohol is fully private here. Sarkia and Saskatchewan government recycling facilities. That makes sense. Okay. So I guess Scott was saying, I guess New Brunswick is privatized, but they're paid for, funded by the government.
Right. So I tried to return like boxes that weren't beer boxes, and they wouldn't accept it. Then I tried to return paper, and they wouldn't accept it. I'm like, aren't you like government? Can't you just accept all paper and plastic products? No, we're independent, and we don't. We only accept beer and pop. I'm like, then where does it? And I had looked it up. Only Crane Mountain will accept like boxes.
Oh, wow. Which is the dump.
Which is the dump.
What I thought was fucking ridiculous, just on a slight tangent, is I tried to put really old money in the bank, like I'm talking like bills that should still be legal tender. They're $50, $60, 50, 60 years old in the bank. Wouldn't take them. I went to a teller. I'm saying, will you guys take these? No, we won't take them. I'm like, you're a bank. No, we don't take them.
Because banks are not the government.
Yeah,
the banks are private industry.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm like, fuck you guys. You should take my shitty money.
No, you're better off trying to auction it off somewhere.
So some of the money. Well, one of the things which we actually ended up selling to a pawn shop. One of the bills was actually so old it actually had Queen Elizabeth's father on it.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Oh, you should have kept
that. You should have taken that to like a numismatic store, like a coin store.
That would have been worth something. I feel like.
Yeah, it wasn't. We looked it up. It wasn't really worth anything. Wow. I kind of wish I had kept it just because of the curiosity factor.
Was there a bill with the Queen of Canada on it?
No. But we saw the whole whack.
She was arrested
together
in Richmond, Saskatchewan. 20 arrested, 40 cop cars. Talk of the province. Wow.
Because they had to basically they were worried about her followers fucking defending her. And these are hillbillies with guns. So.
All the resin stuff needs to be returned. Sarcan, you just don't get a refund. Like here in New Brunswick, we actually have like blue bins where you can put like bottles and stuff as long as they got the right recycling numbers on them. If you look at the package, just put them in your blue bin and put them out, and they'll pick them up with your refuse.
Yeah, we
don't.
Well, that's only here, Nick.
We don't sort our recycling. It all goes together.
Riley Beam, welcome aboard to the chat here. He says, "What's that dude doing in the dark?" Carrie is actually camping tonight. Carrie,
He's
aka
talking about you, Nick.
What's going
You're
on?
you're also in the dark.
Yeah, well, I am in the dark, but I'm not the mystical floating head of Nick tonight because I decided to wear a blue shirt because this guy needs a beer.
He does
Speaking
need
of
a beer. In fact,
why
you
don't we
need
get
beer, Nick.
Yeah, well, maybe in a little bit, but why don't we actually talk about our beers tonight, starting with Mr. Fuzz. Let's go to your verdict on Moosehead. How's that Moosehead drinking?
Wow, it's
Free Moosehead.
free Moosehead.
0 out of 10.
So we're doing it out of 10. So I've always enjoyed Moosehead, and then I'm not saying that it's the worst. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. And now that I don't work for them, I can not
Suck your cock anymore?
right. They're not paying my bills. So it's pretty clean drinking. It's not offensive, but it's not anything to write home about. It's a lager, so I'm going to go for style, a 6. For personal enjoyment, a 6.
Wow. Say it ain't so.
It's better than average, but not stuff I would.
That's better than the
that's
9 and 9
probably
you
but-
gave it when you were working for them.
Yeah.
You were legally
And maybe-
mandated to say that it was a good.
I wasn't
good
legally
beer.
mandated. I wasn't legally mandated to say that either, but
It's almost like your opinion got flipped on its head. The second
almost.
It's almost like you sobered up.
No, it's almost like it soured my taste.
Wow.
Oh. And just like now, back then it was free.
Yeah, well, yes. Back then it was free. Now it's free. Still free. Say la vie.
Okay,
How
I
much beer
just
is
brought
that?
up
I got
the
free
scores. Oh, I didn't write it down. What the fuck? Oh, it was some weird moose versus macro thing we did back, like Moosehead versus macro episode we did back in January 2024 before you got fired. Well, you didn't get fired, but
He didn't get fired.
no, I know you didn't.
He was just wished well in his future endeavors. That's all.
Yeah, okay. We did
I'm just gonna go
BYOB
on
Fizz
record.
beers in 2023, and you gave Moosehead Lager a 9 and 9. All right, that's a bit of a downgrade.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Scott was a massive shill when he worked for them, so like you can't really take anything he said seriously.
I mean,
I don't take what he said seriously now. He's got fucking Stockholm syndrome.
And if you want to really lay it on thick, I mean, honestly, this performance it was just embarrassing, when he was,
Yeah.
shilling for the company.
The amount of moose dick he was sucking, like there was a lot of moose dick. I'll have you know that last Friday at our favorite restaurant / pub, they didn't have the house beer, which we like because it's decent tasting and cheap. So I actually, because it was on special, I got a Molson Canadian instead of a Moosehead, which granted the Moosehead would have cost me more. But even if they're the same price, I drank the Molson Canadian, and it was actually not too terrible. It was Molson Canadian's okay if you get it on tap. It's really cold, but and this is the type of place where I think they go through their Canadian kegs pretty quickly, so it was probably fresh.
Oh, fresh vintage.
But I'm still a terrible human being either way. But I'm just mildly less terrible than if I had a Moosehead.
You're a better friend because you're in solidarity with Scott. That's why.
There we go. I'm in. Even though I don't feel Scott even supports himself anymore. Like I feel Scott is just jealous of all the Moosehead Nick's drinking.
I haven't drank. I waited like 6 months plus before I drank Moosehead in solidarity.
I'm waiting 10 years, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, I didn't get fired from Moosehead.
I didn't get fired from Moosehead either.
Yeah, you basically got fired from Moosehead.
Yeah, but it wasn't your fault. Anyway, so yeah, thank you, Scott. let's go over to Kerry before his internet cuts out. Druid beer.
Tell us a story from the forest.
What be going down in your neck of the woods?
Beast. This first one I had was all right. The kiwi was there. It's a cold, so it's kind of like a great starting point for adding flavors and shit like that. It's pretty good. Like refreshing and get a hot summer day or something like that. I'm gonna go 7.5s across the board.
Yeah.
This one, this Radler from Waterloo, is really tasty. The mango and the passion fruit are there. Things like 2.5 or 3%, super light Radler, but I'd go like 8s across the board for this one. This is damn tasty. Yeah, that's my ratings.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's go over to Greg. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Nick. So I just want to point out this is, usually I run a review beer, or I start to run a review beer. So here's my review beer. Then you guys kept talking about bottle returns, so I started another beer, and I'm almost done that beer. Because the same beer Carrie had, I want to talk about it. So I'm actually on my third beer. I'm having this Railway City Boxcar Juicy IPA, and it's not as hazy as you'd really expect from what is a juicy IPA. I suppose juicy and hazy aren't necessarily the same thing, but they usually cross over. Anyways, IPAs from Europe, they can be sometimes okay if they're kind of dry, kind of earthy, coppery, as I call them. This seems to me like a European brewery. Okay, let me put a pause on that, because I feel I need to actually give you guys context before I'm going to give you any more information on this review, because it's going to put my review in focus. Okay, what I was going to say is it seems like a not so great attempt at a European brewery trying to mimic an American style. However, that was before I looked at the bottling date. Oh, sorry, the canning date.
Oh.
And now, don't worry, guys, because this beer is not expired, because this beer is best before March 31st of 26. So
Jesus Christ.
Do not worry, this beer is not expired. However, this brewery is nice enough to not only tell you when this beer expired, they tell you when it's canned as well. So for a beer that expires March 31st of next year, when would you think it was canned?
March 31st of last year.
That's a good guess. Any other guesses? All right.
I would think it'd be like would be 1 year would be for me, but I'm willing to bet it's worse than that, isn't it? Like March 31st this year.
2023.
Okay, not as bad as Lee. Nick is kind of Price is Right rules closest without going over. So this was canned on January 31st, 2025.
Gross.
So and
I mean, not super gross.
I haven't looked for this, but this is the first time I've seen it on the shelf, and I go to that LCBO at least once a week. So maybe it was there. I just didn't notice it. I have a feeling it was probably part of the LCBO aging program. However, the brewery itself says this beer is good for another, what's the math on that? 6 months, 5 months, whatever it is. So I'm going to review the beer as they state it, because both the LCBO and the brewery say this beer is acceptable. And so my first thought is, again, I would like to try this fresh, but it seems like when European IPAs and pale ales and bitters that are kind of an offshoot of that, they're good when they try to make them in the English style. In fact, I think there's not enough breweries out here bringing like English pale ales, IPAs to our shores, because most of it's most of it is the fruity stuff, even the West Coast stuff. A nice British pint of IPA can be great, but I kind of when I'm going for that, I want it in that style. When they try to make an American one, to me, it usually doesn't work out. Now, again, maybe if I had this back in February, this would have been excellent. As this is, there's practically no bitterness. Someone's really typing away fast there.
Oh, sorry.
Not me, is time.
I expected it to be next, so I'm shocked. Yeah, it's basically just comes off as sweet. Like it's basically there's no bitterness. It's basically all malt. So it's kind of like if you aged an IPA. So shockingly, this tastes like an aged IPA. So do they give a style on this? It's an IPA, but do they give anything? Let's see. They say marmalade and pine aroma. I don't know what marmalade smells like. I'm not sure if I've ever had marmalade in my life.
Yeah, orange.
I would say there's okay. I would say there's some pine in it. I'm not sure if I smell orange. Caramel and apricot flavors. Well, I do associate sweetness a little bit with caramel.
You can have an apricot marmalade too, kind of. So there.
I think marmalade's a style, not a flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, I could actually see apricot in this, to be honest. I mean, so maybe this is the flavor they're going for, but to me, I wouldn't call this an IPA. Now that it's put in my head, I've had apricot beer before, and it does kind of have that flavor. But I'm like, again, not to me, doesn't work as an IPA. And it says that has a bittersweet finish. Well, there's definitely not a bittersweet finish on this. Oh, it's also unfiltered for maximum flavor. So, as a general IPA, if you guys had maybe focused what kind of IPA it is, I might be a little more lenient. But if you're focusing this as a general IPA, I mean, IPAs are supposed to be bitter, so I really, in good consciousness, can't go any higher than. I can't go any higher than 3 on this as first style because 3 is kind of, so the beer's not gross, but 3 is kind of my limit of when something's bad but not gross. So that's where I'm at with this on style. It's still okay to drink, but it's about as bad as you can get for an IPA because it's not bitter. An IPA is supposed to be bitter. Even the juiciest, fruitiest IPA should have some bitterness. This doesn't. Fruit. Personal enjoyment, I can't pass this either. It's gonna be a 4.75 for me. It's not terrible underpass, but I just feel bad passing this because I'm like, this is not something I'd want to drink. Again, if you sold it to me when it was 2 months old, maybe I'd feel differently about this. But right now, And again, both the brewery and the LCBO have told me this is acceptable to review. So there we go. I would highly not recommend this unless you can maybe get a fresh can to try it. Maybe you'll find it's actually a very good beer, but as is, not so much. Just for fun, I know it's not my thing, but here's the Kiwi Kolsch. I'm not sure. There's a flavor on this that I can't quite pinpoint. It's some sort of a fruit or something. I don't get kiwi from it, though, at least not my interpretation of kiwi. I do wish I could pinpoint it, but I'm really bad when it comes to picking out flavors that I can't. It's in my brain somewhere, but I just haven't found the file yet. But to be honest, I like this. I don't love it. I would just go 7.7 on it. It's a fine beer.
Which one's that?
Flavored. It's the Kiwi Kolsch. I'm not really doing it officially, but I just thought I'd have a quick look at it, and it's fine. I mean, I prefer it over the IPA. I mean, at least to me, it tastes more like a Kolsch that's flavored. I wouldn't say the flavor I'm getting is necessarily kiwi, but it's not a bad flavor. It's just I'm not pinpointing exactly what it is. And that's that. And then let's do Boxcar Juicy IPA just for fun. Not that juicy. It's actually a lot more bitter than I'd expect. I like that. This is actually of the 3 beers, it's my favorite one.
It's hobo juice.
What would you give that?
It is hobo juice, and it's 6%. Let's see. This one's packaged August 22nd, so this is quite fresh. Quite fresh indeed.
That's pretty fresh.
Yeah, this one's good. Don't want to take up too much time with this one since it's not my official beer, but I would give this one a solid 8.
8 and 8.
Sure, 8 and 8. I'm not really going too into it, but yeah, 8 and 8 sounds good. It's a solid beer all around. It's not amazing, but it's solid. My favorite beer of the night so far.
Nice. All right, let's thank you, Greg. Let's go over to Lee. Lee's thoughts.
All right, so we got the Ghost Ship IPA at 6.1%. It says maritime legends speak of a burning ship that haunts the shores of the Northumberland Straits. Inspired by centuries-old tale, Ghost Ship IPA emerges from the mist. Don't need the tasting notes. Smooth and bright, yet shrouded in mystery, and invites you to chase the unexplained. Whatever.
Chase the rainbow.
Mm-hmm. So it's got a. I don't even know if this is a thing you can get. I imagine you can get it somewhere, but like a caramelized peach, like if you dipped a peach in caramel, like a candy apple style kind of thing. It's very much like that is a dominant flavor and also aroma note, accented by pine and a little bit of citrus.
Ooh.
But like it's a very unique kind of flavor profile and aroma profile on it that I actually kind of liked quite a bit. Body is pretty light though, which is a little bit of a disappointment. It feels like it should have a little bit more heft, and like there's like little to no bitterness in this. For an IPA, I'd say like it's just kind of dry, but other than that, like not a lot going on. So like I guess it kind of fits as a juicy IPA almost, in style more than anything else. Because like as a regular IPA, it's like barely even like dry or bitter enough to like call a regular pale ale at this point. So like as an IPA itself, interesting flavor profile. If you're into juicy IPAs, it might be like an 8 or a 9 for you or something like that. For me, I'm kind of like I'm sitting at like a 6 because it doesn't really quite work as an IPA. I don't think necessarily, not what I want from an IPA anyway. My own personal preference, I'd say a 7 because the flavors are actually really good. Like that, I've never quite had an IPA that had that kind of like caramel peach like balance thing going on, accented by the pine. That it really works quite well, but it just needs super injection of bitterness into it to make it like a legit IPA. I think is kind of the problem there. As for the Eclipse from Lund's Mill, you go into the aroma and it's like, okay, stout base is right there, unmistakable, and it's not like hopped up to the point where it's like West Coast where it's like dank. It's just got like a really nice like pine accent to it, which is pretty good. But then you get into drinking it, pretty medium bodied. The pine is much more subdued, and it's much more like a coffee chocolate stout kind of thing that kind of dominates the whole drink. And you get a lot of nice sort of bitter roastiness at the finish. And it works pretty well. It's one of those black IPAs, Cascadian ales, if you will, that takes a little bit of the best from both sides of that sort of style and makes a pretty tasty beer. As you linger on it and it starts like the dryness and bitterness kind of in the roast kind of builds up in the back of the throat. It becomes more of like a burnt toast kind of like flavor almost. But then you take it on the drink and then you get a little bit of infusion again of like chocolate and a little bit of just a teeny bit of that kind of that pine, maybe even spruce kind of like thing, just accenting it a little bit. And it's a really tasty one. I'm going to do double 8s on this. I think it's a really decent black IPA, and I really enjoyed drinking it.
So what did you give
I
that
don't know what to think
black
about
IPA
that.
for a rating?
I gave it double 8s.
8. Okay. Sorry, Scott.
Double
what did you say?
8s.
I was saying, I for that review, I'm back and forth on. Yeah, I like that. No, I don't like that. Yeah, I like that. No, I don't like that. It's like
That's the
That's black IPA in a nutshell.
Yeah, that is the riddle of the black IPA. Does it have the right combination of those two things that you either like or don't like, or does it just like totally fuck it up and you just like, oh god damn it?
It's almost like no middle ground with a black IPA. It's either more like pine or like IPA forward, or it's stout forward, and they don't really strike the balance that well all the time.
Black IPAs have traditionally been some of my absolute favorite beers, but it's usually either it's amazing or it's terrible. There doesn't seem to be really in between with black IPAs.
Yeah,
it's like, is there really black IPA that's black IPA, or does it taste more like an IPA, or it tastes more like a stout?
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, I want my black IPA to be more IPA than black, but oftentimes black IPAs are just like, hey, this is a stout or a porter that's just slightly more hoppy that really isn't even noticeable. It's like, okay.
All right.
No, thank you, good sir.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
I'm
you.
confused. My taste buds seem confused though. We'll see what Nick has to say.
All right, so let's talk about my beer. Lee has had the luxury of trying this one already, and so he probably has some idea of what I'm about to say about this thing here. So I find this beer is like, if you're looking for a nice camping beer, you're looking for something easy to drink and sessionable. This thing is pretty damn refreshing. It goes down really smooth. Has a nice tart lime flavor, like a real lime, not like not key lime, but it's actually like those little bottles of like lime juice squirted into it. It's got a real nice, like, tart but tasty lime flavor that's refreshing on this thing here. And the jalapeno on this thing, this is the biggest, the most striking feature that I love on this beer, is that the jalapeno on this thing, it's not like the pickled jalapeno. It's like fresh cut, like almost smoky kind of jalapeno, where it's got that vegetal, grassy kind of like bite from and not like super spicy, but like nice and like bright peppery that you would get out of a nice like fresh cut jalapeno. If you ever get like buy a burrito or something that you put like fresh chopped jalapenos on it, this has that flavor in spades here. And it's got a nice like gentle, slowly building burn on it, but it's enough there that you start to you taste the jalapeno, but you get the lime, you get the nice like grassy like light lager, which is like, and it's a very clean, easy drinking lager too. So it's not like a lot of craft breweries will make a lager but it tastes like butter or something like that. No, they actually nailed lager in this one. This tastes like a nice, easy, clean drinking beer with that peppery jalapeno bite. Fresh cut vegetable jalapeno bite with a nice tasty real lime juice. This shit is fucking fantastic, which is why I want to go get more of this. I'm gonna give it a 9 for the style and 8.5 for overall enjoyment.
Yeah, and I should mention like the gradual like pepper burn that builds up. It's not like it's not intrusive. It's not like eating like fucking like Taki like super hot chips or whatever the fuck, where it eventually just gets to the point where you can't eat anything anymore or whatever, you know.
Like
it's like I think when we did our original review of it, I equated it to like a mild like ginger beer, authentic from Jamaica.
Okay, yeah.
Where like you keep drinking them and like there's a little bit of a buildup of that spiciness in the back of your throat or whatever, but it's never enough to like put you off, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, like you could chug 2 whole cans of this stuff here. You would get a nice little burn, which is tasty, but you would not like overpower yourself where your mouth is on fire. Right. Like I couldn't see getting your mouth completely on fire with drinking just like an entire can shot of this, shotgunning it, but you do get the spice.
Yeah,
and it's super tasty and super refreshing. Like this is one of my beers of the summer so far. All right, so
we had a request. We should get to it because it was 10 minutes ago.
Let's talk about it.
Wanted Redbeard to like show his camp setup if it's possible.
There we go.
Yeah.
So if we can full screen Redbeard.
All right. Turn my headlamp on here.
There we go.
I thought he was wearing a police uniform. I got excited.
Currently in my camping chair. My Bag is over there. My tripod and stuff. Pile of wood. My fire. My light. I'm under a tarp. That's my hammock set up over there.
You don't actually have a
And
tent.
that's about it. That's
They're very simplistic.
Yeah, pretty
Is it
Yeah,
rain?
but,
Did you say it was raining out tonight?
oh, it's raining right now.
Oh wow.
I don't know if everyone noticed, but Redbeard's hand looks like a vagina when it's up close. It's
What?
just a weird thing to.
You just want
Everything looks like a vagina for you.
I mean, that's true, but go back to the footage and check it out. And don't blame me if you decide to masturbate.
So
All right.
Ty Boysen no says what be going down. What the fuck? did
Wow,
Carrie
I offended vagina hand Carrie.
Wow. No, I think it's kind of probably.
do? Yeah, he's probably his internet's kind of shit where he's. I mean, he's in
What?
the middle of the woods.
This
So-
is
I
what,
got a-
this
I
is
got a
what be
question.
going down.
Yeah.
Am I the only one here that's basically like my idea of camping is a 3-star hotel? Like I don't.
No, I'm right on board with you, man.
And
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
like
I'll do 2-star, but I'd rather have plumbing.
yeah, fine.
All right.
Motel, yeah, as long as I can take a shit in the toilet and not.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to. I want a bathroom.
Well,
All right,
okay.
so-
hold
Literally
on
my-
here. Hold on. Now, would you consider, Nick? Would you consider my trailer a 5-star or a 3-star?
Yeah, you got
hotel?
even if it's small, you got a real shower and a toilet. So
Right.
sure, I'd stay at your place, no problem. All right, so let's go around the circle again, starting with the fuzz, and see of all the beers you heard here tonight, which one would you like to have tried?
What was Greg had 3. I almost want to try.
Let's go with one of them. I mean, unless you really want to. But really,
Technically
this is
speaking,
the one. This is the one I technically reviewed.
So, not your technical reviewed one.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Not Nick's. What did Carrie have again?
He
Kiwi
had this one as well.
Did the same one you reviewed?
They have my secondary beer. Yeah, he did that one.
I'm gonna go with Lee. I'm interested. Lee, I'm interested in your beer.
Which one? Because I had 2 choices.
Black-
here.
the black IPA or the
Okay, because I had the Ghost Ship, which was caramelized peach basically, but wasn't really all that bitter, so kind of didn't work as an IPA.
that one.
Oh, okay. And
Oh,
of
the
course
Ghost Ship?
I had the black IPA, which stout, but with sort of pine.
No, your first one.
Okay, yep.
All right. Let's go over to who's next? It was actually Carrie. Let's go to Carrie. Carrie, of all the beers you heard here tonight, which one would you like to have tried?
The jalapeno one you had
Nice.
sounds damn tasty.
It is.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's go over to Greg. Greg, of all the beers you heard here tonight, which one would you like to have tried?
I mean, this one's extremely easy. So I've had this. So sorry, Carrie's out. Jalapeno in a beer. It doesn't usually work for me unless it's like an imperial stout or something. So you're out, Nick. Scott. I mean, Scott. Do I need to really?
Nope, you don't.
Do I really even need to say anymore? So obviously it's gonna be Lee. Now here's the thing: is both of Lee's beers sound interesting. One for the name, one more for because I love trying black IPAs. But since we're kind of going with the first beer, I don't want to make it kind of doesn't make sense for everyone to have like 18 different beers. I'm going to go with the Ghost beer because I'm a sucker for anything that has
ghost parties.
Exactly. Those ghost parties are just fantastic. Everyone just wears sheets and we dance around a fire, burn little teas. It's wonderful. So you know what? Yes, let's go with the ghost beer because I am an absolute, especially in these sacred months of September, October. I'm an absolute sucker for anything with a spooky name. So I'll go.
And I have it on authority that those ghosts come out of the fog.
They do.
Looking
Is
for
it?
their
Is it?
stolen gold.
I just have a question. Has anyone tried a beer? And I don't have the name off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up. I know Chad has had it because he reviewed it. But it was called like Ghost Town Lager or something like that, where it was a beer that was actually supposedly brewed in a ghost town. And I'll find the name offline. I don't have it right in front of me, but and I think it actually had what's that flavor? It had like a black licorice flavor to it.
Wow.
I'll link Chad's review. If
Oh,
anyone wants to watch
Chad's
it.
Chad's in the comments. Maybe you see it.
I've
Yeah,
heard of that one,
Chad might actually know what it's called. Like, but I'm just curious if anyone had that because it was kind of an interesting beer. Now I had it very early in my beer journey, so I didn't quite care for it. But it's one of those beers I'd really love to try again. But I don't, to my knowledge, at least in Ontario, it's not available. It hasn't been for like at least 10 years.
Gillen's Brewery, Gillen's Ghost Town Lager.
I thought it was called Ghost Town Lager, but I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking at something called Ghost Town Lager right now. See if I had any. No.
But yeah, Chad definitely reviewed it back when he had his basement of no good nicks that they used to review stuff.
Oh. Basement of Deadbeats.
Yeah, I'm trying to. So I see the canned version. So I never had it in the can. It was in a bottle. Yeah, well, you know what? This might be simpler just to fucking. Look up
it was the one. It was the one from Brassiere de Montreal, right?
I honestly don't remember.
It's the one with the eyes on the label.
That sounds familiar.
I've had that one. It tastes like licorice.
That's very likely.
What's that called? I might have had that too.
It's called Ghost Town, and it's one word. It's not like Ghost and Town. It's called Ghost Town.
Ghost Town Stout. I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and
I remember seeing this.
It's categorized as a herb and spice beer because I think it had like juniper or some shit in it. Like it was.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, stout absinthe is what some people say.
Yeah, that's it. There's a fucking Chad before he ruined his life with Christy, and the cartoon before he ruined his life with that hot chick that everyone wanted to fuck, but he made the mistake of getting her pregnant.
So it's Artemis absinthium, the actual flower, not real absinthe.
Ghost of the Headless Nun and Morty.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't like that beer, but it's always a beer I've wanted to try again because, again, beer, like I hated Canuck the first time I tried it, and now it's like my favorite beer. So who the fuck knows where this journey will take us?
All right. I'll read this comment from let's just read this comment from Beer Show MD. How you doing? How about St. Mary Raspberry Sour from Timbership Brewing out of Miramichi and Ghost of the Headless Nun in Nordan? I don't know what that second one is. I saw that St. Mary's Raspberry Sour when I was up there, though. I didn't buy one. I'm not really crazy in sours.
Oh, I got my Ghost Town from Spears. From Jason Spears.
Spears, there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
In 2012.
Yeah,
it's Brassiere de Montreal is apparently the one that makes it.
Yeah. I remember I've had beers from Brassiere de Montreal, but I don't think I've had that one.
I'm just trying to think because their whole shtick is that apparently they claim they brewed it in a ghost town. So,
all right. So that's Greg's vote was for Lee. So let's go to Lee, and Lee can tell us what his favorite beer of the night. What all the beers you heard here tonight, which would like you to try?
Well, I've had Moosehead, I've had YOLO. So it's down to Carrie and it's down to Greg. Greg's beer was shit, apparently. So I guess the default is I have to go with Carrie, honestly, more than anything else.
It's mildly above shit. Well, having tried both the beers, I would actually encourage you to vote for Carrie because his beer is better.
All right. Yeah. I'm usually mean to Carrie, so I'll throw him a bone this time and be nice.
There you go.
There we go.
Holy shit.
I mean, he might be either murdered or molested by Jason tonight. So
he's got one warm last memory to remember you by.
Yeah. So if Carrie dies a horrible death tonight, either stabbed by hobos or eaten by a bear, my conscience is clear.
I imagine right before
just the one time.
Yeah,
I imagine that by the time Carrie realizes his number is up, that he'll probably just want one last great memory, and he's going to masturbate to the warm thought of you liking it.
Hey, I am all for giving anybody a great last moment. Doesn't matter who they are.
A great last wank.
Bring a little reach around.
He's not like fucking Jamie Lee Curtis running away and screaming. He's like, no, my time is up. Let me drop some semen on this floor before you drop some blood on.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Lee. Let's go over to moi, and I will say which one I prefer. Scott, some Moosehead. I've had it before. I like Moosehead. Maybe a bit more than your 6 out of 10, but Kiwi Kolsch sounds interesting. That certainly had some of my consideration. So did that passion fruit lager. I wanted to know more about that Brave Hop IPA until Greg started talking about it, and then it sounded like absolute dog shit.
I mean, if you can get it fresh, maybe it'll be worth talking about, Nick. But
yeah, really. It doesn't. I'm wondering, like, it didn't even sound like it was like what 9 months old. So yeah, of course that's a little past its prime for an IPA, but it probably wasn't that great to begin with at that age because you think it would.
I don't know. I'll be honest. My morbid curiosity. I will give this brewery another whatever $3.25, whatever this costs. I'll give this brewery more money if I can try this again fresh because I would like to try it fresh to see if it's the age or if it's just a bad beer.
So when it comes to who do I want, Lee's beers sounded the most interesting. I'm torn between that black IPA, which actually sounds like a good example of the style. There was also that caramel peach flavor note that you said out of the Ghost Ship IPA.
Mm-hmm.
That also sounded really good. And considering that Ghost Ship IPA has 2 votes, I'm going to add a third. So that makes Lee the winner tonight.
Yeah.
I love you got the soundboard ready for that. It's like he knew.
I'm going to also argue to simplify things. I mean, not that it was really much of an issue, but really, if we're voting for beers, it should really only be everyone gets one beer to enter. And whatever your first beer review, that's your beer to enter. Like, it's otherwise it becomes very complicated. Like, I like Lee number 1. I like Lee number 2. I like Lee number 3.
Greg.
Inconceivable.
I don't. I mean, fair enough. I realize I am a giant.
All right, so let's go pan back out. So yeah, I have to look at St. Mary Raspberry Sour. I know I still actually have a couple of Timbership beers in the fridge. I think I got the 1825 and something else. My favorite of them is still Dungarvan Hopper, but they were out of stock when I was up there like last weekend. So what was it? I'm assuming Redbeard knows this guy, Ty Bolsino.
Co-worker.
Well, be going to.
Oh, yeah, okay. Be going down.
Now, would he
finally have our answer?
Would he fall in the category of your racist or non-racist co-workers?
We have
one of the better ones.
So we literally have 0
he's
viewers.
One of the good ones. Okay.
We literally have 0 viewers right now. Everybody's like maybe watched and saw the winner and then left because they're fed up.
Because that's what they were just desperate to see is who's going to win. Like they're like, Leeds won. We can just
nobody wants to know what next week's beer is, and it's great because we didn't really decide what next week's beer is going to be.
You know what? The biggest problem is they all left before they realized this is going to happen to them next week.
All your erotic fantasies can be fulfilled.
Oh, suddenly there's 99 viewers and the bitch ain't one.
0 viewers because nobody heard that. So, do we have any ideas what we want to do for next week?
Well,
are we going to do anything next week?
Need to be next week, but I'm going to say it's September. We got October coming up, so fall beers, spooky beers, harvest beers, all those type of things seem like good ideas to.
Yeah, you know what? Harvest or fall beer sounds like a great idea. Actually, I don't know what's available right now for beers, like because it's kind of early for that, isn't it?
There's like 2 pumpkin beers in the SLC now.
Yeah, there's not a lot. There was like nothing harvest related at the LCBO, but again, my LCBO close by is pretty small, so bigger ones. I know like pumpkin beers are rolling out in Ontario, but I would probably personally save that for later in October, but do you, bro?
Can I get that? I'm poking through the NB Liquor site. I'm thinking, do they have this?
I feel like
no quantity available.
I feel like some Marzens are probably going to pop up soon.
Yeah.
I wish we had more
I almost
Marsons
feel
on a
like-
regular basis.
I almost feel like maybe we should wait an extra week and then do
Yeah.
fall beers, because I'm looking at. I see one on NB Liquor site, but it's not in stock yet, and I'm thinking like, give it 2 weeks, it'll be here.
Let's just do a hangout. We'll get more people that way.
Okay,
Probably.
okay, that sounds
We'll
good.
do a
We'll do a hangout, and then we'll hang it next week, and then we'll do fall beers the week after. Sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Word.
There you go. All right,
And early October we can do beers for fuzz.
fuzz beers.
There
We
for
all bring
Buzz.
Moosehead again.
Oh shit! It's
Fuzz's
Buzz's birthday again.
Fuzz's birthday.
Buzz's
Fuzz is
birthday
turning
like,
45.
wasn't his birthday like a month ago?
No.
No.
No. Everyone wishes you happy birthday.
Yeah, everyone was
Yeah,
wishing you happy birthday.
Well, somebody announced your birthday, so we all wished you. happy
No,
birthday.
it was because I was saying that I've lost so much weight since Scott's birthday, and then everybody started wishing Scott happy birthday.
Wow.
Like Scott's birthday was 10 months ago.
Oh, 'cause we're like Fat Nick gave birth to Scott. Now he's Skinny Nick.
Yeah, well, I was like, my birthday present to Scott was losing 85 pounds, and then we were like,
He
Yeah,
looks
because
so
I
happy
lost-
about it too.
yeah, I
And
know
it wasn't just taking an 85-pound shit in front of his doorstep.
his new steep fucking hills for his doorstep.
Your birthday present to him was you improving your life while you
Yeah, improving my life, not yours. Happy
consider
birthday,
then
fuckface.
he lost his job at Moosehead.
Oh,
You're a great friend. Like it's,
yeah, right. No, and then whatever.
I mean, to be fair, Scott never got laid off from Moosehead before he knew Nick, so I'm just throwing that out there.
It's like if I took like a massive shit in a friend's toilet and plugged it up, and then every year I go, remember that time I plugged up your fucking toilet? Happy birthday.
Well, hold on here. When he started his weight loss journey, I was still unemployed by Moosehead. So
Are you really? I thought you were
Yep.
employed by that. I thought you were like you had found a job at not the place you're working at now, but you were like working for PEI or something.
no, this time last year, I was working for where I'm at now.
Okay.
Good to know.
All
you're
right, so
keeping
I
tabs
was-
on your
yeah,
best
like-
friend.
So I was You were working for your current company when I was.
One thing I
starting
liked
the
about
weight loss journey.
Moosehead is they kept sending you to come visit me, so that was nice.
So here's an interesting thought to finish off the night here. You're talking about that Brasseur in Montreal, and I was looking at beers that I've had from. I just want to say, remember the twins.
Oh
Oh.
Jesus, that beer was gross too. That was not a good beer.
I don't think I've had that.
That was not good.
Date with the twins last night. Weird, but it's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
remember the twins. All right, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching tonight, folks. Tune in next week. We're doing just a standard hangout. Christian still does one.
Yeah, he did.
I don't like that.
I was going to put the penis up.
Hopefully, Chad won't get caught hiding the bodies.
Scott and Carrie's gonna have to put his actual penis up on the screen.